frontage to our homes, and then to have a double stories is not going in with our scene. The development does not comply with standard B6 street setback to clause 55 of the Vanilla planning scheme, which also does not frontage to comply with the standard as set in our page 41 of the agenda. The development does not allow for vehicles to effectively exit the site in a forward fashion. This discovery sets precedents where the planning permit should be rejected on the same grounds alongside the other issues raised by our objections.
Thank you, Deb. Has anyone got any questions of Deb? Thank you. So we'll move on, and planning application for the construction of 3 double-storey and 2 single-storey dwellings at 17 Mary Street. Joel, would you like to take us through that?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I present to the Planning and Development Committee a planning application for the construction of 3 one-storey dwellings and 2 single-storey dwellings at 17 Mary Street. The proposed dwellings will be constructed along the length of the site and will contain 1 3-bedroom dwelling and 4 2-bedroom dwellings. The 3-bedroom dwelling will be provided with a double garage, and 4 2-bedroom dwellings will be provided with single garages. The dwelling garages will be accessed by a driveway along the southern boundary of the site, and a visitor car space has been located centrally on the site in between dwellings 3 and 4. Double-storey dwellings located at the front to middle portion of the site, with the single-storey dwellings being located within the rear portion of the site. The proposal has been advertised and 3 objections have been received. The issues raised within the objections are outlined on page 37 of the report and generally relate to the proposal not being in character with the surrounding area, increase in on-street car parking, construction noise, overlooking, overshadowing, too many dwellings on the land. The proposal has been assessed against the requirements of clause 55 of the planning scheme relating to residential development, and has been found to generally comply with these requirements. The proposal has also been referred to all relevant referral authorities who advise of no objection to the proposal subject to conditions from the engineers regarding drainage and access is considered. The proposal is appropriate for the site standards.
Are there any questions of Joel? Councillor Bernard.
Thank you, Chair. Following what the second speaker said, the frontage of that property is only 16 meters wide. So we advise to leave 1 meter between 2 bins. And as I said, there will be 10 bins actually. So how are we going to place the bins? And it's going to be more narrow because there's a 4-meter driveway and it will be up to 12 meters left.
So there's no requirement for bins to be located directly in front of subject site, so they can, in essence, sort of go up the street a little bit if necessary.
To the other units.
Yeah.
Thank you. Councillor Davis.
Thank you. Joel, a question on the setback of Mary Street for the new building. Is that the setback for the rest of the dwellings in Mary Street?
So the setback, the required setback is based on the average of the adjoining 2 dwellings. And the proposal doesn't comply with that aspect by 150 millimetres, which is not far, not much more. So what we're saying there is the street, as you see it in the street, and therefore generally complies with the front setback.
So I'll just confirm that that's an average of how you work the setbacks out in the street. It's the average of all the premises in the street.
So
The adjoining dwellings.
So if one's at 9 metres, one's at 6 metres, this sort of thing.
Thank you very much.
Councillor Claridge.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. A couple of the issues that were raised were footpath, which is a concern is if there are disabled and young people, there's bins out there on a Wednesday or whatever collection day is, there's cars parked out there. How do we address that issue?
In this instance, we considered the footpath wasn't warranted because the adjoining development, 10-unit development, also didn't provide for a footpath. So if a footpath was to be provided, then what we're saying is that that should be virtually a council's for council.
Yes. Would you suggest that maybe that's something the council should look at? Even though it's not our responsibility as dwelling, but we really can't allow a dwelling built that isn't friendly enough that you can't look at.
Possibly in the future, but that would really depend on the works program going forward.
Councillor O'Brien?
Yeah, my question also, Joel, was about the accessibility with the footpaths. I think that's a concern. I know you've just answered Councillor Claridge, so sorry, I didn't say Chair. But I'm just also worried about that footpath, and I don't know how long the previous building has been there. But I do think with the new Government Act, with accessibility and sustainable buildings, I think we need to consider the footpath going in with the new development as well. That's possible development. Which would help. I mean, I'm worried about, is there a school bus that picks kids up there? We're worried about the safety of children in our community, and we need to consider all of those things.
Councillor O'Brien, actually have a question.
I did ask about the footpath. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, but I didn't hear it. Yes, I response to it.
Oh, okay. No, sorry, I didn't hear a question. So virtually along the same lines, didn't require a footpath because it hasn't been required previously for that 10 unit. And there is quite an extensive gap between the subject site and Bridge Street to get the footpath to that area of Bridge Street. It's about 150 metres.
Councillor First.
Through the chair, there are two major questions here as far as I can see, Joel, and that is to do with the footpath, which has been discussed already, and the bin situation. Is there anything in the council's policies or future policies that may address this to future developments?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, thank you.
Councillor King.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Joel, just again, some concerns have been raised tonight around the drainage as well, which given, we're looking at a couple of new buildings, what that impact of additional stormwater would look like on the current infrastructure. Has there been an assessment carried out on that street's current infrastructure, and is that something we could consider looking at?
Well, the proposal has been referred to the engineers and council, but raised any concern with regards to existing infrastructure. So we've based our advice.
Thank you.
Through Madam Chair, the drainage infrastructure, the development of the site has got rainwater tanks. So each of the units have got existing rainwater tanks. The discharge rate of these buildings will still be in accordance with what was required for a single dwelling. So basically the balance of the water they'll have to retain, retard, and then release slowly. So when we assess an application of this magnitude, we'd say you can only discharge before development must equal to discharge after development. So there's no impact on the council's existing infrastructure.
Thank you.
I just have a question on that, sorry. The gutters, the ladies were saying that the gutters back up down the street. Is that a cleaning problem or a drainage problem, or do we need to do a bit of maintenance or something down there?
Through Madam Chair, there is no, with the old streets were designed, they didn't put any side entry pits, so there is no underground drainage on that road.
Oh,
That is the issue, so every house water comes to the curb and channel, and it's the same problem with Melrose, Perth, all the streets, they come to the gutter. Where there is stormwater pipes on the nature strip and under the ground, there is capacity for that to hold, and you won't see the house water discharging on the curb and channel, so what you basically see in new subdivisions is only rainwater on the road, you don't see the house water goes on a council infrastructure drainage. In this case, most of our streets don't have stormwater, underground stormwater. So that's the issue.
are there any other questions?
I just have one more, sorry, about footpaths. It really concerns me that there's no footpath there. Like, this will probably be a development, will have children, you would think, in these units. And would it be possible to have the developer do the footpath in that area at least, and for the summer, so that we can continue footpath?
There is a possibility to require footpaths just to the front of the site. That's part of this.
So is that a
So,
part
so
of-
we can require that as condition.
we'll make it like you're right, if that's the case.
Yes.
Yeah, just, so the footpath will be only to this site, the balance would be part of council's infrastructure, so.
Yes, councillor Davis.
Just following through from Councillor Harris's question there. Does that mean we're going to set a precedent about putting all developers to build new houses or units like that they contribute to a footpath levy? Is that what your questions are asking?
Yes.
Through you, Chair, there is under the local government act, that's a special charge scheme, so you need 2/3 of the street to contribute to a special charge scheme to get a footpath running. If that was what council was going to decide to, that's a path. The other path is just there'll be footpath to this, and then council through its capital works project allocates on priority basis where each footpath goes. But there will be a time when you'll have only footpaths and on a certain house, like the old seal roads at various caves of old rural.
Can I just have a follow-up question on that? Due to the fact that we only put footpaths on, I understand we only put footpaths on one side of the street. That's right, isn't it, normally?
New subdivisions require
On
footpaths.
both sides. Yeah, my question was, what happens if we get a nice footpath put on the front of this unit and then we decide in that area we're only going to put a footpath on one side of the street, we can't put it on the other side of the street? That was my question.
Unfortunately, planning can't regulate
I know,
on that part is where there is infill developments, where there is new
I know.
developments, we can put footpaths on both sides
both sides,
at the developer's cost.
but that's an old development.
So this is an existing
That's
development. The two options are council does it, or there's a special charge scheme levy where 2/3 of the street contribute to the infrastructure. Big project.
Yes, councillor Burt.
Through the chair, so if we were to pass this recommendation, would it be possible for us to add another condition that the developer put a footpath in front of, on one side of the road, in front of that development only, as councillor Claridge suggested it, and the council then has the responsibility of continuing the footpath as we can? Yes, we can. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Councillor Burt.
No, I'd like to move the motion, the recommendation. Sorry?
We.
I'd like to move the recommendation with an addition.
Thank you, councillor Burt. And what was your addition there?
My addition would be that the developer is required to build a standard footpath in front of this development to the boundaries, both east and west, I guess, north and south. I think, yeah, anyway, so
Yes, so
that's it.
yeah,
I don't
that's
second
what
that.
you'd like to move. Is there someone going to see councillor Claridge? Thank you. Now, would you like to speak on the
I
council?
will. I think it's a really interesting, and I really appreciate people coming and talking, including the developer, the designer. It's brought to notice, you know, we sit here and we have a lot of development going on in Benalla, and we will continue to, which is all very, very good. We've been waiting for this time. I've said many times that Benalla needs growing. We need the development. We need people's investment. It's the good of the community, I believe. However, every now and then a development will bring up, and we've had them at other times, with regards to residential areas that may not be appropriate. This one does seem to be appropriate, but it has brought to light some of the basic problems that Benalla does have, and we haven't been able to address over the years. And obviously footpaths, one, drainage, another, and the question of bins with these type of residential developments is only going to get bigger and worse, I think. I totally agree with